Good afternoon from Yami B TV, wishing you all well, of course. Now, before we get into the latest developments surrounding Tommy Robinson's situation whilst residing down the segregation at HMP Wood Hill and the situation that has arisen, that his visitors have been subjected to strip searches whilst going through to visit him, and also Tommy himself being subjected to the same thing. So I'll give you a little bit of insight and knowledge of my experience about how it actually works, and having been in Wood Hill myself, can raise some kind of awareness. So when you walk in to visit somebody at a prison like Wood Hill, there will be sniffer dogs that will be walked by a dog handler past you, and if the dog sits down near you, it would indicate that you might have the smell or some kind of scent that you might be involved in using drugs, right? For starters. So they would have the authority to search you on the spot or bring you in a little room in the visit, in the bit before you get into the visit hall, and subject you to a strip search. Now, also on offer in most prisons now are for mobile phones and pieces, weapons and that kind of stuff. There will be a metal detector indicator, so that they can wand you down, the magic wand, and if it indicates and it bleeps, then it might suggest you've got metal on you. If we were talking mobile phones, they now have chairs that you can sit in that can quite clearly indicate whether you have that kind of stuff on you also. Now, it's worth remembering as well, in my experiences, when we get round to antagonising inmates from the powers that be that are in charge. So a couple of examples, or one main one, is that I got a mate called Bucky Tony Powell. Now, he was coming up for a move from the Category A prisons. Like, his behaviour had been really good. He'd done all his courses, doing a life sentence. And many men in that system, when they're working their way down in Category, all their parole hearings are coming up. I'm afraid that old chestnut again, that move that they've been doing from the beginning of time, where they will try things like strip searching your mother before she comes in to visit you, knowing full well that she wouldn't be bringing nothing in because she's been visiting him for years, and there was never any suggestion that she would be bringing things in. And him, with his good behaviour, and those that are going up for hearings, etc., no suggestion that they might be involved in the drug culture and the mix-up in the jungle. And when we say the mix-up, I mean you could be not involved in stuff yourself, but talk to men that are involved in mobile phones, men that are involved in drug dealing, and the authorities will be watching by way of observation on those landings. There will be cameras showing that you talk to this one and that one and that one that are alleged, but because of the prison intelligence that they have, that why would you be talking to them? Could it be mobile phones? Could it be drugs? And you can be bringing yourself into the mix by being anywhere near people like that, which is why a lot of men get their head down and don't really get involved, because they don't want to get their name muddled up in things that they're not involved in. But this situation in particular, strip searching a man's mum, would be used on this occasion to see how he takes the news that you strip search my mum. What a bloody liberty. And he might react violently to a high risk test by the prison authorities. And if he starts getting aggressive and violent, they know that then he wouldn't be suitable to be moved on, or to be released back into the community, because he's showing signs that he can't manage something of that nature happening to him without him getting violent, basically. So depending on how he reacts to that, and on that day, Bucky reacted in the right way, took it on the chin, and it showed that he could deal with such a set of high-pressured circumstances. Now, the difference is with Tommy Robinson, right? Being in the drug mix, the drug culture, the jungle mix-up where he's talking to people and getting involved in stuff, wouldn't be apparent there, because he's all alone down the seg, and he doesn't mix with anyone. So his visitors, where would they have that reasoning of suspicion of some kind to be able to strip search them? Where he goes on the phone, they listen. Would he be passing notes? Would there be mobile phones? Would there be drugs? No, because when he sits on his visits, he is all alone under scrutiny by 1 or 2 guards in a little room where he has these visits. So they can quite clearly monitor whether he is going to be giving out something or them giving it to him. So we get round to thinking, antagonising Tommy Robinson to do these things to him. And by the way, when you get strip search, in the old days, they could ask to pull your bum cheeks apart, for one instance, to see if you got anything inserted between those cheeks. These days, it is more likely a mirror on the floor. So when they tell you to squat, when they strip search you, they are allowed to do this, and they can squat and see on the mirror whether there's anything stuck between there. And if you're made to squat, but with the mirror underneath it, if there's anything there, it might well drop on the floor. So this is quite a common practice in the prison system. It's also very degrading as well. I remember, you might find it funny, but it really is a reality for how it can make you feel. There was a time when I was strip searched, and I know it could be just my way of thinking, but I know many men have told me this kind of scenario of the effects of it, that I was getting strip searched, and I felt that those officers were laughing at me because my bits below had shriveled up, basically. And I was thinking, are they laughing at me, you bastards? You know, that's how it left me feeling. But another 2 of those officers on another time strip searched me again, and then it was hanging a bit better than it did that day. So I was laughing. I was thinking, you was thinking it was the same size as the size. But it's the kind of mental things that you can go through in a prison environment, I'm afraid. Funny as it could be sound, it's just one instance of how it is made to make you bend down, squat, and below. And, you know, it's an invasion of your privacy, so to speak. Now, look, Tommy Robinson isn't close to anyone to be in the mix-up of the jail politics and the jungle, to be getting involved in, you know, doing deals, getting hold of mobile phones. It's humanly impossible. He has exercise alone and all that kind of things. So the only thing that I can say on this matter is they're trying to antagonize him, to react in an aggressive manner, so that they've got something on him to say, well, look, his behaviour is really becoming a bit unmanageable when he's becoming violent and that kind of stuff, right? Now, the only other thing is, for them to be doing that to his visitors and to him, they would have to be able to cover their backs. If anything of that nature comes into play whilst these things are, you know, that if there's aggression or nothing's been found, obviously, we know that. So it would be his reaction that's most important, because if there is something that happens, then his legal team will be on it straight away to say, look what they're doing and that kind of stuff. So they would, if you ask me, have to have some kind of reasonable suspicion of some kind to be able to do that to his visitors and to Tommy Robinson with the situation he finds himself in there. But what you have to ask yourself is what? Because he's not getting enough time to talk to anyone at all, and he's not being able to breathe in them circumstances. And why would his visitors, knowing that, you know, because they're under real scrutiny? So to me, there doesn't seem to be any reasonable or plausible explanation for all this. But they would have something, say, in place to cover their backs. But what would it be? See you all shortly.